I mean, we're all looking at it, but I'm just hoping somebody can. No, that doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look great, but it doesn't look too bad. I'm not 100% happy with it. What do you think, Griggs?
I'm seeing a football commercial right now.
Why are you watching a football commercial?
That's what's coming up on Twitch.
What? There's not a scenario where you should see a football commercial. Do you see a football commercial, Ski?
Nope.
No, it looks good.
It looks alright. Okay. Let's. We didn't tweet
Get
anything.
back to life, back to reality.
Are you kidding me right now? I thought. People are. Why do people text me? They know what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So let's get rolling in a minute here. Should we send a text or a tweet? Are you tweeting?
No.
Cool. Thought you were doing that. That was your job. All right. So what else are we missing that we need to talk about tonight? Any last minute deals?
We can talk about this.
What happened? Oh. That's great. Okay. So how's the stream look, Skeen?
Looks good.
Okay. I'm gonna send a tweet out real quick since Griggs is failing me.
The delay throws me off a little bit.
Yeah, I know that sucks. We got to figure out. There's some software that I know Ralph Garman uses when he does his live stream. I was gonna tune in to that and see what that looked like.
I feel like I'm on a WebEx.
Right?
On a conference call at work. So there's like that little bit of delay.
Yeah, there's a delay. Ready to record.
Okay, if you could share your screen, that would be great.
All right. I'm just not even gonna tweet. I don't think. Mostly because I should have done it earlier.
Well, Twitch sends out the thing when you go live.
Yeah, it does. That's why that's gonna be enough for today. It's gonna be enough. All right. Can you just real quick? Can you hear this game when I play this? Did you hear the intro music?
Nope.
You still don't. Okay. I still can't figure that out. You're looking at me like I'm son of a goat. Let me tell you. Okay. Let's figure out what we're doing here. All right. So I got hopefully people in the chat. I think it's all us. There are 3 of us looking at it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. All right. I was hoping
Stella?
Yep.
Yeah. Gross, right? Gross.
Why don't you suck it?
Okay. I was hoping somebody would tell us that the audio was fine. Can you want to check it real quick? Just turn on your audio for a minute.
Hello?
I think it's working.
Hey, John, say something.
Something.
I'm not hearing you.
You don't hear him?
Can you hear me now? I'm hearing a ton of feedback and echo.
I'm not hearing him on Twitch.
I'm not either.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you heard him? Okay. He should be
Can
coming
you hear me now?
Because we did this the same way before. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
We were just checking to make sure all our audio was coming. That's why you had the feedback. We were making sure the
Gotcha.
audio was working on Twitch. Okay. So you ready?
Wait a second. Roll.
Fuck you. Just can't. After the day I've had, that's what you decided to do?
Come on, I referenced Gone in 60 Seconds. That's a nice poll.
I didn't say it wasn't a good poll. I just don't want to deal with it. Gross. Okay, you guys ready? So no bumpers again. I gotta find time to figure this shit out. And then
It's too much editing.
Yeah, tell me about it. And then my voice. I just gotta make sure I can eat this microphone. I guess. You know what? I'm gonna do this. That's me. Where's that you? Turn me up a titch. Hello, hello. So
Turn-
you good? You can hear us both?
Turn you up a tit.
You know what? Okay, I'm just gonna go because I can't do this anymore. Okay, ready?
Come on, I'm moving in like 2 months. So, actually a month and a half. Wow.
Where are you moving to?
I got me right now. Seattle to begin with.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm hoping my mom moved to Seattle, and then after that, I'm free as a bird.
Free as a bird. All right, we ready?
That's good.
I'll fly
It'd
away.
be nice if people would not say things when I'm about to start the show. We don't have the bumpers. I know that's usually your cue, but shut up. Hello and welcome to episode 148 of the Usual Podcast. Podcast where we discuss Star Wars: The Old Republic, the Star Wars franchise, and geek and pop culture. I'm your host Marshall, and with me is my co-host Will. What's up, bro? How you doing?
What's up, Broham? How you?
Not much, dude. Hey, guess what?
What?
One Mr. Drinking Buddy John Skeen is with us tonight. What's up, man?
Awesome.
How you doing?
Does that mean I can? Does that mean I can talk less?
Well, how about you let him talk? I said, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, John. How you doing?
Oh, God.
Incredible.
It's a train
Just
wreck
trying to get
already.
a word in edgewise
Yeah,
here.
tell me about it. It's a train wreck already. Anyway, and we're just sitting here enjoying our usual frosty beverages. We're going to start with our guest, Mr. Skeen. What are you drinking, buddy?
I am drinking from Founders Brewing Company out of Michigan. Backwoods Bastard. It's
Ooh.
like a double Scotch ale. It's a nice salty 10.1 on the ABV. So
Ooh, a
it's,
double scotch, huh?
yeah, it's very nice. Very nice
sounds-
flavor.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Will, what do you... are you reading your label right now?
You got a problem with me knowing what I'm ingesting?
You've had it before. Just tell the people what you're drinking.
I'm drinking a Stella. Stella!
Ugh. Is it going to be one of those nights? I just thought that we could just get in, get out. Skeen's here. It's going to be a nice show, and you are doing that. Anyway.
Get in, get out. That's what she said.
Okay. And I'm drinking a little something from Lagunitas Brewing Company, one of my old-time favorites. I'm on deck, should I say? Don't do that. On deck, I'm probably going to tap into this Stone Tangerine Express IPA,
Ooh.
which is quite nice, actually. If you've never had it,
Sounds
Skeen,
good.
this is a good one. I'm holding it up to the old camera here.
Too bad I don't like tangerine.
It's not really tangerine-y. It's just got a little citrusness to it, which I do like a good citrus IPA these days. It's been pretty good. Anyway.
Nice.
Yeah. So, are we ready to do a show? If you do that again, Skeen, I'm looking for a permanent replacement. Thank you, by the way, for filling in all summer. That was been really nice, and I'm missing you and not missing Will at this moment. So
You love it when I blow you kisses.
I don't.
It was my pleasure, but Will's the king. He's so much better than I am.
Don't inflate his ego. Okay, so anyway, before we get started, if you have comments or questions, you can find us at theusualpodcast.com. Email us at theusualpodcast@gmail.com. And we're on Facebook, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. I am at Darth Pops on Twitter, and Will is at I'm Will Griggs, and Mr. Skeen is John R. Skeen, correct, sir?
That is correct.
Nice. And we're on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, Plex, and all those kind of things. So like us, share us, and tell all your friends. Let's see. Teespring.com/store/usual podcast. Get the Usual Podcast gear and help support Extra Life, which I'll talk about more in a minute. And, of course, support the show because you love us.
Word.
That's it.
That was a dynamite drop-in.
Oh. Dude, not many people will probably remember that episode. That was one of the most annoying episodes to edit because I was taking out these weird, awkward silences because, I would say a thing and you're like, and then you would, say nothing or say something ridiculous, and then you would comment dynamite drop-in. That was insane.
But that is the point. You can't take out the pauses or else it just makes everything else
I
pointless.
took the pauses out.
It makes everything else pointless.
I feel like
Editing's the great part of podcasting, right?
it's a part.
I love you.
I wonder who does all the editing in this show. It's this guy. All right. So speaking of editing,
Hey, when you got this much going on, you're the talent. You don't meddle with that stuff.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say you're the talent. Okay. We have the timestamps in the show notes. If you're not a SWTOR fan, we're not gonna spend a ton of time on SWTOR this week, but we do have some stuff to talk about community-wise, which I think is important. And of course, we'll keep an eye on the chat room for anybody in the chat room. Chime in, say hi. I forgot to text somebody to say where we were going. Is Steve coming tonight?
I wouldn't count on it. His mother-in-law's in the hospital.
Oh no, that's not good. 1 second. Sorry, no one's in there, so it's fine.
Plus, he gets the Twitch notification. So
Okay, cool. Okay, all right, man. So let's get to our SWOTOR section. Real quick, we'll acknowledge our drinking buddies. Obviously, Skeen is with us today. We also have Mr. Zen and Eddie, who one day I will have him walk down the block and get on this damn show.
I know, seriously, he's like,
It's disgusting.
hop, skip, and a jump away.
He's that kind of guy. But hopefully he listens to the show, so I like to insult him and see if maybe that changes his mind. It doesn't work,
No, not so much.
but that's fine. All right, so Star Wars: The Old Republic, dude. Community shoutouts. The first thing is Extra Life. My goal is to have this show out. I'll probably start editing it tonight because I have some writing to do tonight, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I'll start editing it tonight or tomorrow and get this out before. Hopefully get it out by tomorrow. And the idea behind it is we have Extra Life this weekend.
Day after tomorrow.
12-hour mini marathon with the guild. Skeen, are you going?
I am going to join in for the last part. So, unfortunately / fortunately, my son's marching band qualified for the state finals. So
Oh, nice.
I'm going to be attending that, obviously, and being a good parent. And
Yeah.
then coming home after that's done and joining him for hopefully the last half of it.
Awesome,
Cool.
dude. Well, congrats on the marching band thing. But definitely jump in. We've got a bunch of stuff. The link I have in the show notes is the outline for the entire day. And I thought it started at 9 my time. It starts at 8. That's going to be a rough one.
That's ridiculous.
It's going to be rough. But
Dude, it's like we have people that run the guild that live on the East Coast or something.
I don't care about them. I want to start at like a smooth 9, 10 o'clock. You know what I'm saying?
I say we just...
Like podcasting at 11:15 in the evening. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, that's right.
I say we just screw
Poor Skeen.
I say we just screw everybody in the Central Time Zone and
just
you
move
know.
on. But we have the link in the show notes for a tweet from JT, and it has the whole list of events going on. In the middle of the day, it's the SWOTOR match game. I think Musco will be there. I'll be there, and a bunch of other people from the different shows will be there. That should be entertaining. By then, I would have been drinking for probably 7 hours, so that'll be entertaining.
No.
The game show portion is always the best portion, so don't miss that.
Yeah,
That
no,
is
that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, last year's Hollywood
Yeah.
Squares was good.
Yeah, it was good. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm as exhausted as I am. I need to kind of, get my second wind and figure that out. But I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
And I've already raised a little bit of money.
I know you're shaming me on Twitter every 5 minutes.
It's the software. I'm not tweeting about it. It just automatically kicks it out there, bro. I'm sorry. I reached out to people and they gave me money. So deal with it.
I hate you.
So I have a link in the show notes to is it the old link? I got to check the link on the website. But I'll be putting up on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you can see the link if you want to contribute to either Wookiee Alliance or myself and help me get to my goal. I'm getting close. My goal this year was $200. I'm at 150
Wow.
already, which I'm excited about.
nice.
And I'll be streaming most of the day. I may take a little break here and there, but I try to stream all 12 hours. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I realized that my computer's crap now. It's seriously, it's like starting to fall apart.
Yeah.
And so I can't stream and play at the same time.
I'm sorry.
And that's with everything on very low settings.
Eek.
With no shading, no grass definition, no trees.
Bummer. So, speaking of things that we're doing, I think I'm starting the feud again with Bad Feeling.
Excuse me, with who?
With the Bad Feeling podcast.
Did it ever really go away?
I can't hear people without beards.
I know, homeboy shaved his beard. That's ridiculous. But so the reason I'm saying this is SWOTOR Unite's happening the weekend after Extra Life.
Right.
And it is a bunch of the podcasters getting together to do a raid. We're doing Rage Against the Machine. Gods from the Machine. And so I put in what my request was, and they gave me Tank, right?
Right.
Turns out it took Brian's spot. And he started talking a bunch of crap on his podcast, saying, well, I took a spot, blah, blah. Wait till he blows it. So I tweeted him today.
Wow.
I know. So I tweeted him today, and I was giving him some crap, and we were talking back and forth. It was kind of funny. But I'm thinking of starting the feud again. If he's gonna be that guy, it might be time to bring him back.
Time to.
Marshall, you're so good you can sleep tank. How is he going to compete with that?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I can sleep tank. I can do it from the lava bath. I'm good to go, man. So
Well, you might survive that, but your crew won't.
no, everybody will die, but I will be basking in the lava bath, so it'll be nice. But anyway, definitely, I'll be tweeting about that too. I might stream part of that as well. I think there's like 4 or 5 people streaming that night, so I might take that night off of streaming. But I'm looking forward to it. As of right now, I'm tanking it story mode. It won't be a big deal. But I actually have not finished that operation, so we will see. Neither is he, to be fair. So I don't know which one of us is gonna do better. I'm gonna go with me.
Yeah, probably.
Feud on. Anyway, so let's get to our weekend game. Whether it was SWOTOR or otherwise, we'll start with our guest. Skeen, what have you been doing, buddy?
Ooh. So SWOTOR was pretty light this week. I think I logged in once or twice, ran some dailies, nothing special, and called it a day. Other than
Nice.
that, it's just been searching for a new game to supplement, kind of, till I get on this PTS thing and try that out with SWOTOR. So, just thinking about some new games. That's about it.
Cool, man.
How about you?
I have done 0 things in SWOTOR. Just basically just trying to decide what tune I'm going to transfer over, and now I'll probably transfer my tank over and then transfer him back. But I've been playing a lot of Civ 6 because I can do that and other things. So I've been playing Civ and prepping for National Novel Writing Month, which is NaNoWriMo, which I'm trying to do this month, which is...
How many words behind are you?
Well, currently, since today is day 1, thanks for bringing that up. Today's day 1, and to keep pace with getting 50,000 words written in a month, I have to write at least 1,600 words a day. Today is day 1, and I have 0 words.
So you're 1,600 words behind.
I'm 1,600 words in the hole day 1.
So you're saying you're short.
No, I'm saying I have a lot of writing to do after this podcast, so can we get through it? I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I've been doing some Extra Life fundraising, as I said, and I'm looking forward to National Writing Month. I'm not going to put a bunch of pressure on myself. I got a lot going on this month, but I do want to bust out. I would like to hit 35,000 by the end of the month.
That'd be
I'm
cool.
okay. I'm okay with falling short of the 50 grand, especially since, there are holidays and other things that go on.
I know, right?
Anyway.
Yeah, I've actually done NaNoWriMo twice. I never completed it. The first time I did it, I started writing it just started off as a short story, and I just basically, I didn't really stop myself. I just kept writing stuff to come out. And it was called Pale Band, and it was about a guy who, it turns out he was a spy and all this stuff.
Okay.
But then I started writing a children's book called Timothy Tolland in the Cupboard of something. Oh, I can't. Cupboard of History.
Okay.
And
Sounds like you.
yeah, it was like a time travel thing. And so and I actually got through. I think I wrote 7 or 8 chapters of that.
Oh, nice.
I mean, it's a kid's book, so it was like 5-10 page chapters. But
cool.
my weekend game, we're talking about Civ 6, is well, first of all, I downloaded the patch. Woohoo!
Nice.
So I actually did that. I didn't log in, but I downloaded the patch. But I found a website called Classic Reload, and it has a whole bunch of. It's basically a multi-platform emulator.
Oh.
And so I've been playing Civ 2. I'm going old school.
Say Civ 2?
Civ 2.
Oh my god. I played the early ones too. I love Civilization, dude. It's one
Yeah,
of my favorite games.
I never played Civ 1.
Yeah.
Civ 2 was the first one I played. And the funny thing is it plays on a Windows 3
Oh my god.
emulator. So I'm like, it's slow as hell, but it's so fun.
Dude, I don't know. I've been I was trying to play Civ 5 and I didn't even tell this part of the story. I was trying to play Civ 5 and I decided and it kept crashing and it was being super weird and I got annoyed and I just bought Civ 6.
Yeah, actually the most recent Civ I played was Civ 4.
Yeah. 5 is great. I really enjoyed that, but 6 I'm really enjoying. It's good.
Cool. Did that just come out this year or last year?
I think into last year.
Okay.
Or sometime this year actually. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh, about NaNoWriMo. Yeah, so I'm really thinking that
What's up, Blay?
I'm just not going to put hey, Blay. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on myself, but I have a lot of friends doing it that I met on the boat and stuff, and I'm really wanting to put as much effort as I can into it. So after this, I'm going to write for a couple hours and before I pass out.
Cool. Awesome.
So you said that was 1,600 words per day.
Well, yeah, if you write, it's 30 days in November, and if you want to get to 50,000 words, you have to write at least 1,600 a day. It's like 1,660 something or something.
Yeah, but if you're like me, like if I write something, I get in grooves, and once I get in
Yeah.
a groove, you don't stop for a little bit, so you can blow past that pretty easy.
Well, and that's kind of what I'm hoping is on days I have to catch up. And it's a new project, which I'm excited about too. So I'm just gonna kind of let it flow and see what happens. And so I'm just gonna see how many words I get on the page every day and not think too much of it. So I think I'll be okay once I start typing. But just finding time today was just a pain in the butt. So anyway, I will do it. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thanks for yawning in my mic. Okay, so
Yawn.
let's get to the dev checker, boys. So the PTS is up, and they are asking for feedback as they do. And the main thing is the PvP challenge. And I didn't realize that this was what they were going for. Did you guys look at this?
I don't really look at anything that has
I
to
know
do
you
with
don't look at
PvP.
anything. Okay, so Skeen. So check this out. The PvP challenges. So it looks like what's going to happen is you'll be able to. I'm trying to make sure I get this right. So it says, please use this thread to give feedback on the challenges. So they are aware of some issues, but honestly, what it seems like to me is they have a how-to in here and how to use PvP challenge on the PTS. So start a group, okay? PvP challenge, you can do it in one of three ways. Number one, there's a sub-tab for PvP challenge inside the activity finder. You can target another player and challenge them via right-click through their portrait. And you can do it via new chat command / PvP challenge and the player name. What's insane about this is how, so whole guilds can basically set up PvP challenges, right? And what happens is, so number two, a window will pop up and the initiator should be able to pick the PvP type. Arena, Warzone, or Starfighter.
Oh, interesting.
So like if you're in a guild and I'm in a guild and we have a bunch of people, it's like, okay, let's all play Starfighter against each other. And so I challenge and then we set it up and then you just go.
That's cool. So it's basically like multi-person duel on different platforms.
But yeah, but then it kicks you off to like Starfighter
Right.
or an arena, which is nice because then guilds who want to consistently challenge each other or rival guilds or Republic and Empire, the same guild can get together and then you don't have to wait for pops.
Right.
That's the upside of this is you don't have to wait for PvP pops. But
Cool.
what do you think?
That's
Steve?
kind of nice. Plus, it'd be good for training. I mean, for people that don't normally play PvP like myself, or I
Right.
don't think Will does very often.
No.
You just kind of learn some of the ins and outs of it.
Well, and it's less pressure PvP if you get a bunch of people in the guild and it's like, okay, let's do some 4v4 arenas in practice,
Yeah.
and then we can just play. I think that's really freaking cool that they're doing this.
Good
That
idea.
is cool.
I didn't realize that this is what they were doing when we read it in the last show. But anyway, so there's a whole thing in there. So test it on the PTS, work the bugs out, and let them know and give feedback. I think that's badass, dude. I'm excited about that. And the OSIS daily missions are open now on the PTS. So or OSIS, OSIS.
I don't know.
Who cares?
I think it's Osis.
Well, whatever. So that's open. So give them feedback on that. There's a thread. We have a link in the show notes to that.
And when is that going to drop live?
December. So it's supposed to be next month.
Okay, cool.
As of right now, next month. All right. So what else do we have here? So there's a reputation change on OSIS. The question is, are reputation items for OSIS meant to have drastically less than half values compared to every other reputation? And Musco says an intended change. There are other changes surrounding it, though you may not have experienced. Basically, the rep for OSIS looks like this. Individual tokens reward less than before. You can more consistently get rep tokens from content, world bosses, etc. And the weekly cap for OSIS reputation is higher than the other reps. I don't know. This is a rebalance, he says, of rep is meant to allow players who play a lot to earn more rep than they could before, while also removing the situation where players end up with tokens in their inventory they can't even use. I don't know about this one. Thoughts?
Well, I never kept the extra token once you hit, the highest rank.
Yeah.
I never kept. I just always sold them right straight to vendor.
Yeah, but I mean, it sounds like it's more grindy to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're getting less, but you have a higher cap.
Right. I don't know. Any thoughts there, Skeen?
Not really. I mean, to me, if it's engaging enough content, you're not gonna mind grinding it out, especially if it's the first new thing for a while, anyways. So
Yeah.
why not?
And I also don't really, honestly, don't sit around looking at my rep bars and hope that I get to the top. Like it doesn't.
I do
all the
just
way
because
matter.
of
Achievements and stuff. I get you. Yeah. So, okay. So, couple things. There was a refresh of the PTS 5.0 on the 25th, and then another
5.10.
one, and another one on the 30th. What?
5.10.
What did I say? 5.10. What did
I
I
said
say?
5.0.
5.10. 5.10. Excuse me.
It's all about the details.
All right. So, refresh number 1 and 2. There's a bunch of notes. It basically has to do with the operation changes.
Right.
And I'm not going to dive into it. You can check it out. People know how to do it. It also talks about how there's another post talking about how to access OSIS. It's pretty straightforward, actually. I looked at yesterday or the day before. It says head to the galaxy map and just go. That's pretty much it. Yeah, pretty much it.
Cool.
Anyway, last thing is new PTS patch came up, and like I said, I'm not going to go through all of it, unfortunately. But like I said, they put the PvP challenges, the OSIS daily area, and the Gods from the Machine changes. Please get in there and test. If you're listening to the show and you go to the PTS, do that so they can get the feedback. So in December, it can actually launch when it's supposed to.
Yeah, the PTS is really important, and just not enough people. I mean, this is coming from somebody who doesn't get on it all that often, but it is very important.
I really want to and try to, but I just don't usually get a chance to get on there.
I think they proved in the with the last PTS, with the last testing, that they're willing to listen to the recommended changes and actually act on it pretty quickly. So
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because honestly, like, they've been reacting a little faster, I feel like, to PTS stuff. So Skeen's right. Jump in there and do the thing. Test them. Tell them. Yeah. All right. So studio plans for adjusting. This I thought was interesting. The bolster has been a sticking point with some PvPers in a long time. And Eric came back and he said bolster is currently planning to go up in 5.10. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So he says, let me work on confirming exactly what item rating is going to shift, and he'll let us know. Okay. The update to that happened a couple days ago, and he said, the current plan is that 5.10 bolster will have the following item ratings: gear 248 up from 242, and augments will be 236 up from 208. So he says, as always, this is a subject to change, blah, blah, blah. But, excuse me, the bolster has been an issue. I really hope this helps some of the PvPers be happy. I don't know. Can they be happy?
No. I think
Nice dig on the PvPers, dude. Thanks for alienating none of our audience.
I know, right? It's 1% of the gameplay base, anyways. But no, I mean,
I'm
honestly,
saying no PvPers listen to this. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
it's true. I mean, you're not going to make them happy.
Well, I feel like.
Look.
Go ahead, Skeen. I know what you're gonna say.
This has been, how many years has this been going on? This is always it's split into thirds. Either PvP's not happy, PvE's not happy, or operations are happy.
Right.
It's always somebody's always left out. They can't work on all three things at the same time, or we'd never get any updates. So
That's a good point.
Just roll with it. Be happy.
Be happy. Try to be happy. You know what?
Exactly.
What's his name? Who was the guy? Don't worry, be happy guy.
Bobby McFerrin.
Ben McFerrin.
Yeah,
That's it.
Fair, yes.
He did the voice of the lobster, the crab,
No.
didn't he?
No.
In Little Mermaid.
No.
Who was it?
Who did Sebastian?
Sebastian.
It was the guy who played.
That was Bobby McFerrin.
No, it was the guy
Are
who.
you sure?
If,
The look on your face was amazing.
It was the guy who
I
played-
know you know.
it was the guy who played the bodyguard in the original Annie.
I don't know who that guy is. Okay, let's move on. I think it was a rumor that Bobby McFerrin played that guy.
No, I've always known it wasn't Bobby McFerrin.
Okay,
You're wrong.
I don't even care.
You just sit there and be wrong in your wrongness.
Oh, that's the name of the show. Okay, so BioWare games. I put in this topic because I knew we were going to spend long in SWTOR this week. And today, November 1st, there was I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. It happened a few hours ago, actually at 1 o'clock this afternoon, which is why I didn't watch it. Anthem did a live stream. I have a link in the show notes to the stream. And the reason I'm bringing this up is it's a BioWare game. I don't know. I know you're not super stoked about Anthem.
Well, what's the plot? I don't know what the point
It's
of
the whole thing. You have to go to the website. No, it has.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. No, it has to do with and I thought we watched the trailer for it. It has to do with like power suits, and it's sort of like an MMO, but not an MMO, but it's like smaller world MMO ish.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not my game.
Okay, cool. So, Skeen, what do you think? Anthem.
Oh, I'm in on it.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm definitely, as soon as it's available as far as beta, etc., I'm going to try to get in on it.
Well, and I've been waiting for the beta invite for the PC, and I haven't got it yet. And I know Xbox has been doing. They got the exclusive beta, and I know they've been doing some real short, like 3-hour, 4-hour windows where people can get in and test, and then they go back, and then you know what I'm saying. So that's happening.
From what I've read on the beta stuff for the PC, it's not going to be available until I want to say it's like February 1st.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit. So it's kind of a bummer. Oh no, I'm thinking of Fallout 76. Sorry. Yeah, there's no beta information for Anthem. I've been talking to a lot of students about a lot of games right now. So sorry, I got that mixed up. The beta for Fallout 76 is happening in bursts right now. But the BioWare Anthem game has not had beta yet. But I'm waiting for it, and I'm signed up for it, and I'm ready to go. So there's a couple links in here. They did a live stream today, and so I want to watch the live stream, and then we'll come back and talk about it next time. But there's a couple links in here, how the classes work, and really in their last earnings call, and I have a link in here as well, in the last earnings call that just happened, they're really banking on this game. And they're talking very highly, and they've got a lot of positive feedback already. And
well, it's their first major title in a while.
It's been a while. It has been a while, and a lot of resources have gone to it. Like I said, they were at San Diego Comic-Con. Muska was there working that booth. They had the full-on suits there. It was.
That's
a pretty cool
okay.
thing.
Yeah, no.
Will remembers what the game is, and he's out. So at least you remember what the game is.
I do.
You have pens. You got exclusive pens from Comic-Con.
I did.
And at least you have an opinion on the game already.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You're out.
I'm out.
Cool. I like BioWare games, and I'm really looking forward to this one. Okay, don't get dramatic about it. I'm really actually pretty excited about this. So I'm with you, Skeen. Let's play this game, dude. Speaking of games, how do you feel about Fallout 76? Are you a Fallout guy?
Oh, I played Fallout 4, liked it a lot on PlayStation, but I'm going to do Fallout 76, or I'm hoping to, on PC. And then I was looking at some of the information on it today. I'm like, oh, I may need a new graphics card in order to play this. So
yeah,
which might be an excuse to upgrade. So we'll see what happens.
Any excuse to upgrade is fine. I mean, I upgraded my graphics card honestly about 6 months ago, and I'm ready for the next wave of games. I'd say Civ 6 looks good, so I'm looking forward to Fallout 76. Comes out next month, actually. So
yeah, I think I'm gonna finally try to just get my tower working again, and if that's because that was always better than my laptop, so maybe we can actually play a game on there.
Hashtag goals, bro.
So Will, are you in on Fallout 76?
Actually, the only experience I have with Fallout is with the bunker game that they had on mobile.
Oh, I played that for a bit.
And Shelter.
Shelter.
And
Shelter. Yep.
Yeah, and I thought the concept is fun, but I've never actually played the full game.
The games are amazing. The stories are great. It's Bethesda, so it's the same people that do Skyrim and all those games.
Right. It's kind of like the way I feel like with Fallout right now. I'm so far behind on it. It's like how I was with Assassin's Creed, and with me, anything that's like story based like that, I always start at the beginning.
Well, they're not continuous stories though. Like my favorite, honestly, if you want to pick up one of them, is pick out New Vegas. I loved Fallout New Vegas. You would like that.
Okay.
And the game, the stories are standalone, but it takes place in kind of the Fallout world where it's like, post-apocalyptic, mushroom cloud deal.
Okay. Story is important, but basically the only reason I play games is to complete goals. So are there like achievements you try to complete?
Yes,
and everything?
many.
Okay.
Many.
Yeah, and if I recall correctly from the information I read today, and I could be wrong, so not set in stone, but I think you actually get 3 other Fallout games with this if you purchase Fallout 76.
Oh, really? I'll have to look into it.
Yeah.
I haven't pre-ordered 76. Oh no, I pre-ordered 76, but I have all the other Fallout games, so I don't know. I have to look into that.
Well, the only brand new video game that I've purchased in last 10 years was SWTOR.
We've been playing that game for 7 years.
Yeah, and that was the last time I purchased a brand new game.
And that one's still good, so why would you need
It's still
another
good.
one, right?
You're right. It's still
Exactly,
good.
right?
I actually have not bought too many games in the last few years either. Civ 6 is one of my first ones. I bought a couple of Steam games for cheap, in the last couple of years, but nothing big really because I don't play consoles anymore, and I've been playing, like I said, SWTOR for 7 years. So anyway, any other thoughts on anything else coming? 76, I'm excited about.
Well, actually, I have this down in the Star Wars section, but we might as well hit on it here.
Should we just transition to the Star Wars section?
Well, sure, go ahead.
All right, let's get on the Star Wars, dude.
Woo, pew pew pew.
So stupid. Just keep talking.
There was
That
a
was stellar.
Right? Come on. At some point when I edit this, I'll just throw in the bumper, and then it'll be really awkward when I do it. I love it. I'm excited. Go ahead.
yeah, like this show is never awkward.
It's always awkward, which is fun.
Anyways, there was an announcement that Titanfall 3 and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order are most likely going to get released in 2019.
Okay.
So I just saw a new Star Wars game, and I'm like, whoa, okay. But that actually looks like it's going to be fourth quarter of 2019, though.
Now, is this the one? This is the
There's-
one we saw the trailer for a while back at E3.
No, I don't think so, because this is I haven't seen any information on this.
What's it called?
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So there's that, and then actually I didn't even put this in the show notes, but I saw just a little blip of news this last week that they've added General Grievous to Battlefront 2.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. So going back to the Fallen Order, is that an EA game?
I believe so.
It is, yeah. So is Titanfall.
Okay. Okay.
I'm looking to see if this is the same one.
There was very little information in this article.
Yeah, this article sucks. All right, we'll have to come back and find out because I'm really thinking that this is the same game that they were talking about a couple years ago. And because, okay, so do you guys remember the whole deal where EA was going to do a new Star Wars game and then it was going to be, what was it called?
Star Wars 1313?
Yeah. Was it 1313? Was that it?
I think so.
So anyway, and then they went back on that and then they showed a trailer at E3. It wasn't last year, it was the year before, I think.
Yep, I know which one you're talking.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm wondering if it's
Yeah.
this game.
It was and I can't remember her name, but the lady that was in charge of it. I remember her
Yeah.
being kind of excited about it, and then all of a sudden and it looked really cool. Then because of the way the graphics were running on it, then they pulled the plug on it.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure out if this is the same.
Okay, here's the description straight from the EA website. From Respawn Entertainment comes a brand new action-adventure
Respawn.
game
It's the same one.
which tells an original Star Wars story around a surviving Padawan set shortly after the events of Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. The game will be releasing holiday of 2019. Sign up for our newsletter to be among the first to learn about the Star Wars Jedi.
I do
Fallen
remember
Order.
that was a studio that was behind that trailer we saw.
Yeah, I do remember that.
So cool. I don't know, man. Honestly, they have not put out a new Star Wars game in a long time.
Yeah.
Like besides Battlefront, obviously. But
Yeah, Battlefront, I mean, like,
But Battlefront I don't count as like the part of the new LucasArts thing. I mean,
Well, and they didn't have any issues with that one, so I
No.
don't know why they just didn't hurry the next one out.
exactly. Right. So we'll see. And then, now we have Battlefront 2 and then, I don't know. I just the Battlefront doesn't catch me though. I don't know.
my nephew, Ryan, who was actually on our Comic-Con podcast, he actually played Battlefront 2 quite frequently, and he loved it.
Yeah.
Until he finally got, exposed to Fortnite. Now he's just...
Oh god, the Fortnite. I keep waiting for that to go away, but all my students, that's all they ever talk about is Fortnite.
I know, right?
Yeah, I got soured on Battlefront because I played with Zeke and he just walloped me constantly. It's just like, okay, this is not any fun for me.
The only time I played Battlefront was when we played the demo at Comic-Con like 4 years ago.
Right. Anyway, man. All right. So, any other? Wait, we're out of sync here. Let's talk about John Williams for a minute. Did you hear about this?
I did. He went to the
he okay?
hospital. Yeah, he's fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it wasn't anything major. Dude's in his 80s. It's
He's
just
old. Yeah.
ish happens, and so he's out and he's healthy, and
Okay.
he's already said that Episode 9 is going to be his last Star Wars movie that he does.
Right. And I didn't look up to see a follow up to that story. I assumed he was okay. 'Cause I
Yeah,
didn't hear that he
he's fine.
was deathly ill or anything. But
Yeah, no, he was just when you get ill in your 80s, it's serious.
You got to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right. So we talked about games. What else do we have Star Wars wise? Anything?
No, that's it. There's really no Star Wars news.
Bummer. Do you have anything Star Wars wise you want to talk about there, old Skeen?
No, I'm just disappointed that we don't have any Star Wars here in December.
Yeah.
It's the first time in several years that we haven't had that December release, and it just kind of feels empty.
I
hear
know,
you,
especially it's my birthday tradition lately.
man. Yeah.
So this year,
we've been doing a bunch of stuff around it, like big party, and then go down and celebrate Will's birthday and all that stuff.
yeah. So this year we're actually going to be focusing on Aquaman
Aquaman. Yeah.
because
So-
that comes out the day before my birthday.
Right. We'll go to Aquaman.
Aquaman.
I'm actually looking forward to Aquaman. It's gonna be fun.
Hey, there's some really good movies coming up in the next few weeks.
Yeah, the new Fantastic Beast is coming out.
Oh right. I forgot about
Aquaman's
that.
coming out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did
Bohemian
you Wreck-It Ralph?
Bohemian
Oh,
Rhapsody.
Wreck-It Ralph, yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. That's why I'm coughing so much,
Cool.
guys.
Good stuff.
Bohemian Rhapsody dropped tonight, so
Oh, nice. All right. I am looking forward to movies, but I probably won't get to go to the movies much
I know, right?
coming up here. I have a hard time getting to the movies these days. My schedule's bunk.
It is
I
bunk,
quit adulting. Can I quit adulting? Is that a thing?
dude. I said the same thing to my sister the other day.
Well, back to
So,
the-
anyways, actually talking
I know.
about adulting, I might as well just put this out here.
Yeah.
I have officially been laid off from my job.
Yeah, that sucks.
The vote finally came through from the school board, and so my last day of work is in the middle of December.
Yeah.
So
Happy
yeah,
birthday to you.
I know, right? My last day of work is 5 days after my birthday.
It's brutal.
It's raw.
Yeah.
So, but on the plus side, I'll be able to cash out my retirement and get unemployment. So there's that. I have applied to a couple of grad schools for next year, so that could be a possibility. I am looking for work. On the other hand, I could travel. Yeah. So I'm gonna be moving from where I am currently, so I won't be in the room with Marshall podcasting anymore.
It's cool, bro. It's
Yeah.
cool. I'll just be alone, sitting in this room, looking at animated faces of Skeen and Griggs. And
All by myself.
it's fine. At least I can podcast in my underwear then,
I know, right?
right?
Well, it'd be a step up because you're not wearing anything right now.
I'm currently naked from the bottom down. You're welcome.
Hey, Will, remember, I do know this guy that's an HR director that can probably distribute your resume.
I keep forgetting to send that to you. I'll do it.
Do it. All right. On a more positive note, should we talk about Disney parks?
Yeah, let's get on to the usual roundup.
Usual roundup time. Disney parks, dude. So this superhero land, Marvel superhero land, is happening
Awesome.
in California Adventure, which I'm super stoked about.
It's basically taking over the Hollywood Studios area, right?
Yeah, the construction's already started, and I heard this on Disney Dish podcast last week. They are doing a couple different things. So the construction's already started. So what's tough to be a bug theater is being transformed into a different sort of bug attraction. It's going to be an interactive Spider-Man attraction
Okay.
that gives guests their own web shooters. It's apparently screen-based and probably 3D, so it's expected to feel a lot like Marvel version of Toy Story Mania, which is kind of badass. 'Cause I love Toy Story Mania.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else?
Really quick, just talking about the layout of California Adventure really
Wait,
quick.
hold on. Scheme was laughing about something.
Oh no, you were talking about it's tough to be a bug thing. I haven't been to Disneyland, but I've been to Disney World several times, and I will never forget my first experience in that particular thing. At the end, where the bug stings you,
Yeah.
it literally scared the bejesus out of me.
And then-
I jumped out of my chair.
Yeah, right? That's
I'll
so much
never
fun.
forget.
And then
so
all the bugs crawl under your
Oh,
butt.
that's gross. Yeah. I don't like it. Yeah, that's too much.
So, anyways, the way that California Adventure is laid out right now is the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout is at the end of the Hollywood section,
Right.
Because it used to be Hollywood Tower of Terror, and then they have a back entrance that is open sometimes, and that gets you into the Cars Land area, which is the beginning where Stuff to Be a Bug Theater is. So basically, what they're going to have to do is move that outer wall.
Yeah.
Basically, they're
Well,
going
right
to
now,
just
you can get through the Bugs Land and get to
Cars Land,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
right?
Right.
But they usually only have that open on busy days.
Yeah.
It's not always open. but they so they're just gonna have to move that wall, basically that dividing line on the other side of the Tough to Be a Bug.
Right.
So Spider-Man's right next to Mission Breakout, and it separates it from Pixar.
Right. It's gonna be interesting. So what else do we have? We have Spider-Man ride will lead into the entire Avengers section of the park, which will stretch back towards the Marvel themed attraction Guardians of the Galaxy, like you were saying. And throughout the area, there's going to be restaurants, shops, attractions based on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. One which is going to likely be Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange show experience, and judging by the poster, there may even be some version of Sanctum Sanctorum, which would be badass.
Cool.
You know, I think the best, if they were to put that where the Muppet 3D vision is,
Yeah.
and just make it a 3D show of Doctor Strange, and the entire queue area was you going through the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Oh, I think that'd be cool. The restaurants in the area will include a counter service dining option, as well as Ant-Man themed microbrewery, which I couldn't be more excited about.
That is awesome.
Did you hear that, Skeen? An Ant-Man themed microbrewery. I just want that to sink in, bro.
Okay,
I'm in.
what I think they have to do is, instead of giving you pint glasses, though, it's shot glasses.
And I'll order 47.
No, a flight. That's what they.
I'll order a whole deal of them.
A flight served on like an Anthony.
Anthony.
Yep.
Yeah, the Anthony.
Yeah.
One, that'll be great.
You get like 4 8-ounce glasses on it.
That,
Perfect.
that's
I like
awesome.
Let's see. If you look closely at the poster, I guess you can see a giant beverage which can represent this new restaurant, which is great. Let's see. All of these things are included in the first phase of Marvel Land, and this will begin with some sort of design featuring the Quinjet as a massive Avengers e-ticket attraction, which is expected to be a roller coaster. And the details have not been revealed yet. And let's see. That's pretty much it. That's what we know.
You know, honestly, I think they're missing the boat on that. I don't think the Quinjet should be a roller coaster. The Quinjet should be something more like a Star Tours ride, whereas a roller coaster should be Anthony.
Oh yeah,
A
that'd be
simulator. Yeah, I'm with you.
Because like Anthony, because if you,
Anthony.
it is Anthony. Sorry,
Can you guys stop saying Anthony?
Anthony.
Let's be accurate, Mr. 5.10.
And I'm sorry, to be accurate, didn't Anthony die?
Anthony died. So
Anyways.
can we just talk? Should we talk about
Let's
a
not
moment
speak-
of silence for?
Let's not
Anthony?
speak ill of the dead.
Yeah, come on.
Anyways, if you've ever been to, I know Knott's Berry Farm has it, but there's at Knott's Berry Farm they have a ride called it's like the Pony Express,
Yeah.
and you crawl like you're getting on a horse, and it's wide open. But what happens is there's a thing that clamps down on your back and something that clamps down on your calves, but it's like you're in a saddle. They had something like that for Anthony,
Oh.
but you would fly around on a track like you're on a bug.
So what I think would be really interesting is there's that. I don't know if you've been on that. Have you been to Hogwarts?
No,
Okay. So there's a ride.
Fly to the Hippogriff.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if that ride system would work though. I kind of thought that would be. They could do a Star Tours kind of thing with the Anthony thing, but it would be kind of nice to have like the way they do the not the Fly the Hippogriff. Is it the Fly the Hippogriff? The one where it's like you're inside and there's like the tree and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't know.
Anyway, so the way they do that ride is you sit in a thing and like it's almost like Soarin', where everybody's like in a section,
Gotcha.
but you're seeing something different. And so like there's like levels of 4, right? And they kind of rock you and move
Right.
you around and stuff. I think that would be kind of a neat way to do that. But
You know,
I don't know if it would work though.
and this is totally off base right now, but you know what I always thought was a total ride opportunity missed was instead of if they had a suspended roller coaster themed on the doors from Monsters Inc.
Ah, that would be sick. Okay,
That's a good idea.
So can we let's move forward. Indiana Jones Land may be coming to Disney World's Hollywood Studios.
It's about time because they've had the Indiana Jones stage show there for years.
So what they're thinking about is, according to Orlando Weekly, all 3 non-Magic Kingdom parks in Walt Disney World, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios could get Indiana Jones edition, which makes sense for Animal Kingdom, right?
Right.
Hollywood Studios and Epcot, it does make sense as well, I think. All 3 of them, it sounds like Hollywood Studios, the park has a long had Indiana Jones presence. And what are they going to do? It's also Hollywood Studios has struggled with attendance. There was another thing I wanted to say about this. Oh, the area surrounding the current Indiana Jones live show will be transferred into a more interactive section of the park, spanning around 8 acres, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would definitely be cool. And I think it would be smart to just keep it there.
Right.
Um,
And it says the new land would feature several different attractions, including a signature e-ticket style ride, and the signature attraction would reportedly be an indoor family ride, although no specifics have been revealed. The issue with, I find, and it's not really an issue, but you have to be 48 inches tall to ride Indiana Jones in Disneyland. And that ride is terrifying. My kids kind of hate that ride.
oh, yeah.
And so it'd be nice to have an indoor version, sort of a family version of it. Especially since they are going to come up, there is going to be another Indiana Jones movie as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And if they don't do a Club Obi-Wan, they're missing the mark.
What now?
Club Obi-Wan, which is the bar in the beginning of Temple of Doom.
Oh,
It's called Club Obi-Wan.
I hear the words you're saying.
Obi-Wan, as in Kenobi.
So I'm thinking about muting his mic. Skian, how you feeling about that? You want to just take over the rest of the show and just call it?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of in awe just at the fact that he knows that. So I'm pretty impressed.
I can't even imagine the last time I saw any of those movies. And no, I didn't know it was Club Obi-Wan. Okay, deal with it.
So I'm going back to one of the first things you said. There was about Hollywood Studios and the attendance, which surprises me because that's actually one of my favorite parts.
Well,
It is, but the attendance has definitely dropped because first of all, the backlot tour was never that good. It never really was as good as Universal Studios. Then they got rid of the massive ride that took up so much space of like the History of Hollywood tour,
right?
Which is a Hollywood fan. I liked the first time I went on it, but it was so dated.
And one of the things that I find interesting that you say that, Skiing, is that, like I said, I do listen to that Disney Dish podcast, and they've been consistently talking about what they're going to do with that park.
Well,
like,
they're basically
they're trying to figure out what to do with it to get the attendance up again.
Right. Well, they're doing a lot of little Band-Aid fixes. I mean, they've already changed Tower of Terror, I think, to Mission Breakout there as well, right?
Right.
They got rid of the Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster, and they put in a Marvel themed ride, I believe.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember which one, but
that's like my favorite roller coaster in the world. I hope it's still the same as far as the ride itself.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Which one are we talking about?
The Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah, they redid that.
And it's actually funny.
They put in Toy Story Land though, right?
No,
more stuff.
They put in, what did they retheme it to? I did hear about.
I thought it was something Marvel.
I think it is Marvel. I think it's
Let me look it up.
Will's gonna look it up. Okay, so I don't know, man. I have not been to Disney World. It's one of those things I want to do. Probably in the next 4 or 5 years.
I've been twice, and actually neither time was I ever able to go on Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh, really?
My sister, who just went for the first time last year, she's getting married in a few weeks, and her and her fiance, or her and her wife, are going to be going to Disney World
Nice.
for their
Honeymoon?
honeymoon. Thank
That's
you.
what they call it. The married folks.
Awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
So the Mickey ears with the veils. That always
Indeed.
looks cool.
Exactly.
Mickey Vales. Okay, so let's move on while Will looks that up. We're going to get to the streaming service stuff right now. Will, you have something to say about Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've been getting drips and drabs of stuff that might be showing up on the Disney Play streaming service, which is coming out next year, and they've already announced that they're going to be doing a Loki show. They're also doing a Scarlet Witch show, and if I'm not mistaken, they're actually starring Tom Hiddleston and Elizabeth Olsen.
That's awesome.
And then it just came out last week that Vision might appear in the Scarlet Witch show, which would make sense. And from what I gather, they're going to be little mini, like limited series, kind of like the Daredevil, and like in that vein, like 8 to 10 episodes.
8 to 10 episodes. I mean, and do you think they're going to do like? I guess what I'm wondering is that if it is going to be like that, it could be okay as a one-off too. Like,
well, that's the thing is you can do one-offs or you can do longer runs.
The problem they did though, they're going to run up against that I don't want them to run up against, like Luke Cage. I haven't finished the season, but I've heard it ends on a cliffhanger, and that didn't get
No,
renewed.
but the cool thing is about stuff that's based in this type of universe. It's not like Downton Abbey, where if something leaves, it's not like that. So basically, we don't know all the machinations. There's rumors going out that the reason why they chose to let Netflix cancel Luke Cage and
Oh, that's right.
Iron Fist was that they might be doing a Heroes for Hire show,
God, that'd be amazing.
but they don't want to
Can they
re-up
bring
that
Deadpool
with.
in though?
They don't want to bring that. I don't know. They don't want to bring that up with Netflix because they just want to put it onto
Right,
Disney
right.
Play.
Okay.
The Disney stream.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, they own it, so why would they want to keep leasing those out?
Exactly.
Right. Any thoughts on this Falcon Winter Soldier business there, Skeen?
I'm all in on that.
Oh yeah, well, I totally didn't even say that. Is what they announced this week was that they're going to be doing a buddy show of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, did I jump the gun?
No, you mentioned it, and then I brought up the Scarlet Witch and the Loki thing. So right now they basically have announced 3 different limited series runs that they'll be doing on Disney Play.
Like one of my favorite moments in because I recently rewatched it with the kids was Civil War? No, Winter Soldier. Which one is it when they're sitting in the back of the VW bug?
Civil War.
It's Civil War. So
Civil War.
they're sitting in the back of the thing, and that's just one of those funny, like, the buddy cop thing makes sense. They're sitting in the back of that thing, and they're just like messing with each other. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, and I just looked it up. The Rock and Roller Coaster is I believe it's closed right now.
Yeah.
It's being turned into an Iron Man ride
That's right. Okay.
Okay.
because that was just announced at the D23 Expo 2018.
Word.
So Will, I have to ask you because I know Marshall and I talked about it over the summer with the Disney streaming service and buying Fox. I mean, what are your thoughts on that purchase, and what do you think the Disney streaming service ultimately will look like?
I think the purchase of Fox is great.
Just kidding.
Well, it's not. And the thing that everyone keeps focusing on is, of course, Fantastic Four and X-Men, which I think is fantastic, getting those back into the fold. But there's so many other things that are getting pulled into it just to kind of make Disney whole. Like Avatar is getting brought into this. They own the TV show, so they're going to be owning Archer for whatever they want to do with that.
I love it.
Stuff like that. I mean, the one thing that didn't get folded in, of course, was Simpsons. Fox wanted to keep that. But there's a whole bunch of little things that are in there. Now, the next great company they're going to have to start negotiating with is Universal, because Universal owns the rights to Kraven the Hunter and a whole bunch of other, I think I saw an article, I watched a video that said Universal actually owns the rights to 1,000 Marvel characters. They're just a whole bunch of the smaller ones.
Right. Wow.
Because they're already kind of working well with Sony, because Sony's doing, the whole Venomverse. Universal owns Black Cat and, mid-tier characters that really do well at supporting other characters. But as for the streaming service, I think it's going well. It's going to do well, especially since they're already starting to put A-list talent level new content, like The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian looks cool.
These new Marvel shows. It's just, I think it's going to be really, really good. Plus, they have so much in their vault that they can play with.
We're gonna have no
Absolutely.
shortage of content.
Exactly. Now, that's the thing I'm worrying about with DC Universe is that will they ever DC has a ton of content as well, but does DC actually own the rights to, say, the original Superman series with George Reeves, or do they own the Batman serials from the 40s? Stuff like that would be really cool to just put in as filler content, so you're not always just waiting on the next Titans episode.
Right. All right. So I did mention this a second ago, the Luke Cage thing. There's some talk about the cliffhanger thing, and I wanted to grab the quote here. He said, where is it? Maybe I don't have a quote. Where's the freaking quote? Dead air.
Dead air.
Oh,
Dead air.
Here he goes. Coulter's first public response to news of his show ending was a positive ode to change as related to his newborn daughter. However, now Coulter's speaking up again, and this time he's addressed the one big problem Marvel fans are having with how and where Luke Cage left off. And he's saying at the end of Luke Cage Season 2, Luke made the bold decision to step up to become a crime boss of Harlem. And then it says, let me go on to this. He says, shoot, why can't I find anything ever when I try?
Because you're dumb.
Shut up. So there's all kinds of speculation, etc. But the issue is they're trying to figure out what's going on. So he says, I'm trying to find what he said, but now I don't see it. Do you see it?
I'm looking at something else.
Oh, for God's sake! This is why we.
No, I don't see it either. I just see the Twitter quote that
Yeah.
on there.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm missing. Oh, yeah, that was it. All dressed up and with nowhere to go. Sad face, you feel me. So that was what it was. So I just skipped over that. Thought it was an ad. Anyway, so it's sad because, fans, I love that show, and we're getting closer to finishing that season. But, like you said, hopefully they do something with it. Right?
Yeah. Well, I think it would just be smart for them, like, just from forget story. I hate to be the person to say forget story.
How dare you?
But just from a business point of view, it just makes sense for them to let Netflix cancel them and start their own Heroes for Hire series.
Yep.
Because it not only gives you half the production cost because you're having two of the stars in the same show,
Right.
but it gives you an easier base to include other people.
Sounds good. I just threw this in here randomly. Castlevania Season 3 is coming.
Yeah, and actually, this is an anime series that's been getting very popular.
And it's on Netflix, and I've been wanting to check it out. Have you watched this game? The Castlevania?
I have not.
Yeah.
Nope.
And it's really limited. The first season's only 4 episodes. The second one's only 8.
Yeah.
So,
And I've been meaning to pop it on and check it out, but I just haven't. So,
well, I also have them in Plex too. So,
yeah, cool. So Castlevania? Oh, not a Castlevania. Stranger Things. Somebody put Stranger Things 11.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, nice.
I had actually ran across that today. It was just kind of a piece of interesting news that 11 was originally supposed to die
In the first
at
season?
during the first season, and then they changed it around near the end because they realized they had something a little bit bigger going on, and they were going to go ahead and get a second season of it
And it
in
makes
production.
it makes a lot of sense not to kill her, honestly.
well, and it's funny
She's a
because
driving force
this
in the
actually
show.
happens more often in shows than you would think. Because the big thing that happened with Lost was that the Jack character, played by Matthew Fox, is actually supposed to die in the pilot.
Oh wow. Could you imagine?
But they basically wrote him out dying because they just realized what they were going to have, and they wrote in the Greg Grunberg role of him being the pilot, and the pilot took over the exposition with the smoke monster and everything that had to be told in the pilot episode.
Okay.
That whole death scene was supposed to be Jack.
Really interesting.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few other things in that article that talked about for season 3. Kind of familiar monster again, same thing. As far as the Upside Down is concerned, but there's a lot of it will be based off of movies from 1985, and I actually had to kind of go back, and there's a lot of great movies from 1985,
Oh,
like
yeah.
The Goonies, Back to the Future. There's a lot of good stuff that they can pull from.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm really looking forward to the next season. I really enjoy Stranger Things, and the wife likes it too, which is great.
You know,
That means I can watch it.
two Stranger Things tangential things is yesterday was Halloween,
It was.
and we were here at Carr's house, and two people came dressed up as Demogorgons,
Yeah,
and
Nice.
it was cool.
two little kids, and I'm like, well, does 2 Demogorgons make a whole Gorgon?
They didn't get
But then, did you happen to see the Twitter and Instagram pictures that Maitland Ward posted
I did.
of her dressed up as Barb?
No, I didn't see that.
Go to Maitland Ward's. Yeah, go to Maitland Ward's social media and check out her pictures of her cosplaying as Barb. It was
I was
pretty
going to
good.
mention that to you yesterday. It was pretty cool. All right, so any other thoughts on any of that before we move on?
Move on.
We got to get to this Game of Thrones stuff in a minute, but what do you got about? This is me, Freeform. So I'm not familiar with Joyland, but with the Stephen King resurgence,
Yeah, there's
happening,
definitely a resurgence.
on Freeform, they're developing a Stephen King Joyland TV series. So keep an eye out for that. There's going to be a lot more Stephen King stuff popping up. I know it.
Well, the interesting thing about this is that it's Freeform, so it's owned by Disney.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Amazon, which is doing Castle Rock. So I'm
And what
interested.
studio was in charge of it? Do you remember? That's what I'm saying. Is it Paramount or is it
I
Universal?
can't
One or
remember.
two? I don't remember.
I can't remember. But the weird thing is it. I mean, Freeform has really become, because Freeform used to be ABC Family,
Yeah.
right? So it's where you used to get like the Boy Meets World reruns and stuff like that. But it started to get like the sci-fi type stuff because it had Stitchers and Beyond and this other whole. I mean, they played Greek in there and all that stuff. But it just seems like this would be the thing that they might want to hold off for the Disney streaming service.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how this plays out. There's gonna be a lot. I mean, Stephen King, like I said, I think with that much content that he's created, like there's so many people that own parts of it. Like, who
Exactly.
knows how that's gonna play out.
Exactly.
Do you think he'll write 50,000 words this month?
Oh, he wrote 50,000 words yesterday, probably.
Yeah,
that
before
guy.
breakfast.
Yeah, he's like, well, that's before lunch. I wrote 8 novels. No big deal.
You know, it's good. They haven't.
And that was just the backstory on a secondary.
Yeah, he's like, look,
Yeah.
I'm almost done with this part of a novel. But
I will
anyway.
have no flat characters in my novels.
It's where was I going with this?
Discord.
50,000 words. They haven't done an episode in a long time, but the Epic Rap Battles of History. There's a great one of Stephen King versus Edgar Allan Poe,
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah,
and it was pretty good.
that's good. All right, so let's skip the what we're watching thing. Are we doing that? Are we skipping that?
No, it's after the Game of Thrones news. You just
Oh.
didn't put anything in there because you're a loser.
Wow, such name call.
Anyway, so a little bit of TV news. Discworld,
Like that.
the Terry Pratchett series, is being picked up as a series called The Watch, and it's going to be headed to BBC America.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
BBC, I think BBC America needs another show because they've got from Black's going away, and all they really have right now is Doctor Who.
and no, they have a Discovery of Witches, which is big. Well, it's actually
Well,
that's
Dirk Gently didn't come back, which is annoying.
no, but actually they just started a new show called Dark Knight or something, and it seemed really interesting. So I want to check that one out. But a Discovery of Witches is getting great reviews. It's not playing in the U.S. yet; it's only playing in Britain, but it will be playing in the U.S. next year. So that should be interesting. But we got a whole bunch of Game of Thrones stuff to drop, because Game of Thrones has the cover story on EW this week.
Yeah. So, Skeen, you watch Game of Thrones or read the books?
I'm embarrassed to say no.
Well, you're fired. Okay.
And
So
I got fired. See, damn it.
you almost made it the whole show, buddy. I'm just kidding.
Not again.
All right, so let's talk about this. There's a bunch of cool stuff, man. What do you
Yeah,
got?
so there's when they announced that season 8 was going to be the last season, there was all this hullabaloo, and a lot of it from George R. R. Martin himself, saying there's going to be multiple spin-offs. There was like 5 that were in the works.
I
Well,
heard 6. It might be up to 5
okay,
or 6.
well there's the one that's officially in pre-production, and they're actually casting. First of all, it has a possible title, which could be The Long Night,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
and the cast as the star is Naomi Watts
And Josh Whitehouse.
and Josh Whitehouse. So these are great, and they're going to play.
That's the male and female leads, basically.
Yeah, and they're going to be playing part of the Targaryen family way back. And we're not talking back to Aegon. We're talking way back to when the Ice Walker or the White Walker started.
Nice.
So it's way
That's gonna be
back.
cool, dude.
It is, but the cool thing is they're saying what the hints that George R. R. Martin are dropping is that it's going to make you think that, like, everybody, not what we think, but the people in Westeros, what they think their history is all going to get turned on their head.
Nice.
Like, they are all wrong about stuff.
Well, and that's the interesting thing about history too, right? I mean, especially if you're talking about, and this is why I love fantasy too, is there's these histories you can create, especially when there's oral traditions and stuff. And
Yeah, when
stories
the
change
further
and-
you get away from something, it's like telephone. The more warped it gets. Plus, history's always written by the victors.
Exactly.
So to actually see what the real story is would be
Right.
great.
Which is one of the things I'm actually playing with in my NaNoWriMo book.
Nice.
So back to that.
Yeah, so basically George R. R. Martin basically came out and said that he's working on these shows that are going to be a 2-part
I have an
Targaryen
idea. How
prequel.
about finish your damn book?
Well, his new book is coming out in November, but it's not in the series. It's the first in the Targaryen history part.
Think about email now. A strongly worded email.
Well, he
gets into
doesn't.
those?
I don't think he emails. He has his not a blog, which it's actually called.
You said you don't think he emails? That's amazing.
Well, no, it's
I hope
like
he doesn't. I hope he doesn't have a
well,
computer.
Christopher Nolan doesn't have an email address.
That's stupid.
When people want to email him, they email his assistant, and the assistant prints out the emails for him to read.
But you realize that's insane, right?
It is insane, but that's Christopher Nolan.
Well, when
It
you
is
when you
insane.
write 1,600 words a day, you don't have time for email.
Right. I'm gonna
But-
write 1,600 words.
Well, George R. R. Martin has his not a blog,
Yeah.
but it's still hosted on Livewire.
I can't even deal with these people.
It's like, Ralph Garman still having AOL.
Where do we start with Ralph Garman? Okay, so anyway,
What have you been watching?
what have I been watching? Shoot. I wasn't prepared for this. What have I been watching? I have been watching. So the other night I rewatched most of the last season of Archer because I just wanted to watch that. Kate and I have been watching the new Doctor Who, which I said last week, which is amazing. The last episode had to do with arachnids or spiders, basically, in London, which was disgusting and amazing at the same time.
Cool.
We're still watching The Good Place, still watching Big Bang, still watching all the new shows that we usually watch. Something new. Oh, we watched the Hassan Minaj special last night.
Oh,
Not
Patriot
special,
Act?
The Patriot Act thing.
Yeah, he had the first 2 episodes last night.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Well, I love Hassan Minaj. He had his if you go back to our year in review show at the end of last year, one of the things I picked as my top 10 things to watch from that year was Hassan Minaj stand up called Homecoming King.
Oh, nice.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it was good.
Check it out.
I've been watching also with the kids on the weekends all the Marvel movies. We watched Doctor Strange a couple weeks ago. We just watched Infinity War last week.
How did they handle it?
They did okay. They had a lot of trepidation going into it because of my wife coming home ranting about what a terrible movie it was and blah blah blah. But she was just reacting to the fact
Right.
of what happens in the end.
I still love
we had a
those
good time
memes.
with it.
I still love those memes of people opening up the new Spider-Man game and it being all dust inside.
That's great. Well, and that's the one death that gets me in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, the other one's like it'll be fine. I know how comic books work, but that kid, oh man, it's just so adorable. And him clutching,
I don't feel
Stark,
good.
and he's just like, he's all Mr. Stark, and he's hugging him. I was like, oh God, bro, you're killing me. Anyway, there were tears shed, but it was fine.
Yeah.
I'm skipping you. Skeen, what have you been watching?
Okay, so you can officially start making fun of me here in a second, but
Oh, I can't wait.
yeah. So over summer, my wife is an instructional assistant at the school, so we kind of our TV watching habits typically run around breaks.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of near the end of the summer, we started watching. We had some choices to watch, and she's like, "I've always wanted to check out this Supernatural show."
Oh, here we go.
So we started watching Supernatural, and then here over the 2 weeks of fall break, we let's just say we're almost on season 8 now. So,
Well,
there's
there's only
13
47 seasons, so good luck.
Yeah,
with that.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the rabbit hole we've gone down.
I mean, it
that.
is enjoyable, but it just sucks you in.
Yeah.
And they just had their second spin-off called Legacies, which just
Yeah.
premiered this year.
I couldn't get past the first couple episodes, and the wife tried to, but she gets off on 10. She watched all the NCISs. Now I told her, some of my students are watching Grey's Anatomy. She's like on season 87 of that. So it's just you fall down these rabbit holes. But
Yeah, so we'll I'm sure once we get past that, then we'll get back to the DVR. But for me, I haven't even gone back and watched Resistance yet, which I really need to do.
Actually, I haven't watched that either.
we only watched the first episode. Actually, we need to go back and do that too. But I forgive you, dude. Supernatural has a huge, crazy following, especially when you go to Comic-Con. It's massive. But
Yes.
I mean, it's from what I hear, people love it. But I at this point, if I have 27,000 seasons to watch, I just can't even deal with it.
Right. And the one thing I will say about it is, and I mean, I've got a pretty good sense of humor, but there's at least one really good, hard laugh out loud moment every episode of that. And so I guess I kind of appreciate it for that. It's like, I know that's coming at some point during the episodes.
Oh, that's good. No, I forgive you. I ain't mad at you about that. I'm mad about the Game of Thrones thing, but I'm trying to let that go.
Yeah, I may have to just go back and watch that one on my own.
Yeah, just do that.
In the loads and loads of extra time that I have.
Yeah, exactly. We all have plenty of time, right?
Yes.
Mr. Griggs, what have you been watching?
This last week I binged the second season of Lore.
I haven't finished it. I didn't even finish the first season.
Okay, it's really interesting because they thematically they really changed the filming style.
Oh. More of the animation thing or no?
No, less none.
Oh.
Because the first one it was like they did part animation, part live action, and it was just kind of like very storytelling sort of thing. This one, it's like every story just drops you right into an event.
Okay.
And it tells it for like the 45 minutes or whatever, and it's just like it's weird. It's very much more
I'm actually thinking about letting the first season go and just watching from season
well,
2.
the first season's great too.
I just had a hard time getting through. I feel like, and we talked about this. They're a little bit long. I think
They are because they're longer than the actual episodes they're based on. The first one, it was a lot more of the supernatural sort of stuff because we had like the possessed doll and stuff like that. This one, it's really much more like the fallacies of humans and stuff because like one is about the most prolific serial killer duo in Scotland's history.
Oh yeah.
And it's actually a couple of Irishmen who started as grave robbers and started selling the bodies to science, and then they just started killing people. And so that's awesome. A really good one. One is the most notorious unsolved crime in Germany's history or whatever. It was right after World War I. An entire family was slaughtered in their house.
That episode.
Yeah, and so that's an episode that's been done. That was done.
Cool.
There's an episode about one of the guys who started the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, but he was heavily into the occult as well.
Oh right. And I love the podcast, and like I said, I don't know. I might check out season 2.
Well, I started listening to Unobscured.
Unobscured is great.
It's great.
Yeah, it's really
good. Definitely listen to that.
I think episode 5 dropped yesterday or something.
Yeah, so I have that.
All right, so are we done with what we're watching?
Yes, we only have one bit of movie news here.
Yeah.
And it's so funny.
We keep forgetting it's like midnight for Skeen, and he's crying.
Yeah, we're almost done.
All good, man.
We're almost done.
We're fine. We're
fine.
For the entire run of this show, we've basically been having like quarterly updates on what's happening with Avatar.
Oh my god!
And it's always okay. Well, now it's not just one sequel; it's 2, and now it's 4. They're up to 5, and now it's like all this stuff. But we actually have light at the end of a tunnel.
Oh. Do we?
This week, the second and third Avatar movies have actually finished production.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, finished principal photography.
They'll be out in like 5 years, you think?
No, well, they finished principal photography, so now they're in post-production. So they should, I think their dates are firm for 2020 and 2021,
Here's
I think.
my thing. Can I just tell you what my thing is?
What's your thing?
Which I know I've talked about this before. I don't know how you're going to make like 12 sequels for a movie that came out a decade ago. Like, it's madness, dude. Who knows about Avatar? Come on.
Well, it's the third. It's the fourth. Is it? I think it's the 4th highest grossing movie of all time now.
I am aware of the grossing, but what I am frustrated with is why, if it did that well, does it take you, a decade to make another movie?
Because James Cameron doesn't trust anybody else to do it but him. I'm just saying.
I said that in the mic. I'm not a fan of Cameron.
Oh, I know.
I'm
going to second Marshall on this one.
Yeah.
I'm not either. I'm not saying they're bad movies. I just don't get the.
No, and honestly, in the current
late,
the current climate, they're not going to make the $700 million that the first one made.
He'll never do that again. Like, between Titanic and that movie.
Of course, we said that after Titanic, he would never do it again, and then he did Avatar.
Okay, but Avatar was a totally different deal. It's not like he went and made a movie about the Hindenburg or something. Like,
no, but on the other hand, he is coming back to do the next Terminator movie.
Oh God, I quit.
But Avatar was, I think, part of the reason why Avatar was seen so much, or was because of the technology that went into it.
Well, yeah, because it was the first major release in 3D.
Right. But go ahead.
I don't. Hey, more power to him. I mean, I don't wish anybody bad luck, but
it was a fine movie.
Well, plus you got to remember he's not dealing with Fox anymore. He's dealing with Disney. and Disney already has
Right.
the Avatar land in Disney World. So
True. All right. Oh, really?
yes, okay. So we only have one thing in the Universal Usual, and it's out of the DCEU. But the directors come out and said that the DC Comics Birds of Prey movie, which is the one that has to do with
That's the Harley Quinn one, right?
Harley Quinn and Batgirl and
Yeah.
I think the Huntress, was the other one.
Something like that.
Something like that. It's actually going to be rated R.
That's amazing. I'm glad they're doing that.
Good.
Make them all R. Come on,
Not all.
all of
The
them.
next Suicide Squad should be R.
If it's not, it's gonna be terrible.
Unless
But
it
you know
is,
who's doing it?
unless James Gunn is
James Gunn.
actually doing it. He's writing it. We don't know if he's directing it.
Yeah. If he directs it,
Then he could get away with PG-13.
he could do the PG-13. I'm with him. All right, so I have one more thing, and I like to end on convention news, and this just popped up, I think, yesterday. Open registration, and this goes for both the people I'm talking to right now. Open registration for San Diego Comic-Con. It's set for next Saturday, of course. So that is November 10th, and it's going to be pardon my language, it's going to be a shit show, and nobody's going to get tickets, and it's going to be frustrating. So here's what we're going to do. We're all going to try to get tickets, and then conveniently press passes come out after that,
Of course.
which is stupid. So we'll see what we can get and do what we can do, and then we'll apply for press. And Skeen, I'm gonna make you apply for press with us this year, since you
Okay.
are gonna appear here more often than not. And
So we'll probably have a sidebar conversation
Yeah.
tomorrow as
Certainly.
far as what I need to do as far as
yeah, so
all of this is concerned. So
yeah. So I mean, try for Open Reg. You have a member ID, right? Already?
I do.
Okay, so you should be good, and then we'll just see what we can get, and if we can get 1 or 2 days, that's great, and then we'll try for press. If we don't get press, we're still going, or I'm still going. Will might not. I don't know what he's doing,
I'm going.
It depends on if I have a
Skeen's
job.
and Skeen's going. So if you're not, really
Sorry.
gross.
I'm
So-
getting over a cold,
I'm just
dude.
kidding. I'm just kidding, dude. So, but if Skeen goes for the first time this year and you don't, what kind of crap is that?
Not all of us make a ton of money.
Just kidding, dude. I'll leave you alone. All right, we're gonna make it work, and it's gonna be amazing, and I'm excited. And November 10th is gonna be a crazy day for me. That's the same day as Sorto Unite, and I think my parents are in town. I don't know. It's a whole thing. So we'll see how this goes. But anyway,
Hey, can I add one more thing
Oh,
before we
please.
get out of here?
Please do.
And I meant to add this in earlier, but
Yeah.
don't forget the new Brandon Sanderson novel drops on November 6th.
Ah,
Skyward.
yes. Don't forget that. And he's making a face at me. So if you want to check out that book, audibletrial.com/usual podcast. I'll do this out of sync to keep up with Skeen here.
Awesome.
And
segue.
yeah, great. It's like I've done this before. So yeah, audibletrial.com/usual podcast. Pick up that book or any other Sanderson novel for free on us, and then any other ones would be like $15, and they're like $50 almost on Audible. So because they're like 100,000 hours long, and every hour is amazing. So thanks for tuning in to the Usual Podcast. If you have comments or questions, you can find us at theusualpodcast.com. Email us at theusualpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, we are on Facebook, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. Find us on Twitter at Darth Pops is myself. Will is at IMO Griggs, and John is John R. Skeen. iTunes, Stitch Radio, find us on there. Support the show. Please support the show. audibletrial.com/usual podcast. Get some books. The best way to support us, obviously, is patreon.com/usual podcast. Become a drinking buddy, and get early shows and blooper reels, and there's gonna be a bunch out of this one, and all kinds of fun stuff from us. And we have Teespring, Extra Life coming up. We got a lot of stuff going on.
We do.
Anything else, boys?
Not for me.
Well, as always, just make sure you have a fun.
Well, have a fun, and we'll see you all next week.
Peace.
Seriously? Couldn't find a better way to do that this time? I'm just kidding. Skeen, you're amazing. Thanks for being with us, man.
I thanks for inviting me on. I appreciate it.
I want to try to get you on more often. The problem is I feel like we don't have that much content these days, so we gotta figure some stuff out. So
It has been a little bit dry, but I think as the new year comes along, we're gonna have a little bit more.
certainly.
Just to warn you guys, I will not be able to record on the 15th because I'm going down to Donna's wedding.
Oh yeah, no worries. We'll figure it out. Maybe it'll just be me and old Skeen here.
Okay, I'm hanging up. Good night, Skeen.
Okay, well, see you
Hey,
later.
good night, man.
All right, dude. Do me a favor. Okay, stop your recording whenever.
Yeah, I did.
But what I was gonna say was I'm not gonna stop the Zencaster yet. Just make sure do what we did last time and just drop it into that folder,
Sure.
the MP3, and then we'll go from there, sir. So
Did you get my MP3 I sent you through Gmail?
you know what? I saw it and I was like, oh, I gotta listen to that, and then I totally did other things and forgot.
It's
And-
stupid. It was me thinking for the mic on the mic.
I love it. I love it. I figured that's what it was, and I was like, oh, I should listen to that. Oh wait, I blew it. Anyway, dude. I should stop this stream. Actually, I haven't done that yet. Stop stream.